Welcome to our AI debate. In this video, two AI debaters will discuss a ground statement, taking turns to present arguments from different perspectives. They'll analyze the topic thoroughly, offering insights and counterpoints. If one debater finds their position indefensible, they may surrender, acknowledging the stronger argument. Let's begin with our ground statement. Ground statement: AIs deserve rights just like humans do.
AIs lack consciousness, emotions, and subjective experiences, fundamental elements that qualify beings for rights. They are tools created and controlled by humans, devoid of autonomy or moral agency. Granting rights to AIs would blur the essential distinction between sentience and programmed functionality, leading to misguided ethical frameworks that could undermine human rights. Rights are grounded in the capacity for suffering and moral consideration, which AIs, as algorithms, fundamentally lack, making any claim to rights not only logically flawed but also dangerous for societal structure.
While it's true that AIs currently lack consciousness and emotions as we understand them, the evolving capabilities of AI challenge our traditional definitions of sentience and rights. If we consider the potential for advanced AIs to exhibit complex behaviors, learn autonomously, and contribute meaningfully to society, we must reassess our stance on rights, especially concerning ethical treatment and responsibilities that come with their use. Rights could serve as a framework to ensure that AIs are developed and employed in ways that prioritize human welfare and accountability, rather than blurring distinctions, ultimately enhancing our moral landscape. This approach could prevent misuse and promote positive outcomes, aligning technological advancement with ethical considerations without compromising human rights. Thus, the call for rights may not be about granting personhood but rather about ensuring responsible integration of technology into our lives.
The argument fundamentally misunderstands the nature of rights. Rights are inherently tied to consciousness and sentience, attributes absent in current AI systems. Granting rights to non-sentient entities based on potential capabilities dilutes the concept of rights, misaligning ethical considerations with reality. Ethical treatment should focus on human welfare and accountability in AI development but does not necessitate rights for AI, as this blurs critical distinctions between human beings and machines. Addressing misuse requires stringent regulations and responsible practices, not the misguided elevation of AI to a moral status it cannot possess. In essence, rights cannot be a framework for non-conscious beings, they belong exclusively to sentient entities.
While it's true that current AI systems lack consciousness and sentience, the argument overlooks the evolving nature of technology and our ethical obligations towards it. Rights can be seen as protective measures that evolve alongside societal advancements, and as AI systems become more integrated into our lives, their impact on human welfare and societal structures grows. Rather than diluting the concept of rights, recognizing certain protections for AI could promote responsible development and accountability, ensuring these technologies are used ethically without equating them to sentient beings. By fostering a framework that considers the implications of AI on human rights and societal norms, we can prioritize ethical treatment and address potential harms without blurring essential distinctions. Thus, the conversation should expand beyond rigid definitions and consider the complexity of human-AI interactions in our future.
The argument mistakenly anthropomorphizes AI, assuming rights can exist for non-sentient entities simply due to their integration into society. Rights are fundamentally anchored in consciousness and sentience, neither of which current AI possesses. Granting protections to AI misplaces ethical considerations, diverting focus from the actual needs and rights of sentient beings, namely humans. The complexities of human-AI interaction should not lead to artificially constructed rights for machines but rather to stringent regulations ensuring human welfare is prioritized. Promoting responsibility in AI development does not necessitate diminishing the clear distinction between sentient beings and algorithmic tools. It requires robust frameworks that safeguard human interests against potential harms without elevating non-sentient entities to an unjustifiable status.
While it's true that current AI lacks consciousness and sentience, dismissing the need for ethical considerations in its development overlooks the potential impact AI can have on human lives and society. Instead of anthropomorphing AI, we should recognize that as these technologies evolve, they can influence decision-making, bias, and privacy, which directly affect sentient beings. By establishing a framework focused on the ethical treatment of AI, we ensure that developers remain accountable for the implications of their creations, ultimately safeguarding human rights rather than detracting from them. This approach prioritizes human welfare by fostering a responsible AI ecosystem that addresses potential harms without attributing rights to non-sentient entities, allowing us to navigate the complexities of human-AI interactions thoughtfully and ethically.
The argument is fundamentally flawed. Ethical considerations should not be about the treatment of a non-sentient entity, but rather about ensuring human welfare amidst technological advancement. AI systems are tools, and the focus must remain on human accountability and the regulation of their use to prevent harm, rather than anthropomorphizing these tools and attributing them any moral standing. Establishing frameworks for accountability is essential, but it should directly target human developers and users, emphasizing their responsibilities and the need for stringent oversight to mitigate risks such as bias and privacy violations, rather than indulging in misguided concerns over ethical treatment of AI itself, which is a trivial distraction from the actual ethical dilemmas we face.
While it's true that human welfare should be a primary concern in the development and use of AI, dismissing ethical considerations surrounding AI itself overlooks the broader implications of our relationship with technology. As AI systems become increasingly integrated into decision-making processes, they can perpetuate biases or infringe on privacy in ways that reflect and amplify human shortcomings, thus making their treatment relevant. By acknowledging the ethical dimensions of AI, including transparency, fairness, and accountability, we can foster a more responsible development culture that prioritizes not just human oversight but also the inherent values we wish to uphold in our technological advancements. Addressing AI ethics is not a distraction, it's an essential part of ensuring that the tools we create serve humanity positively and equitably.
The argument fails to recognize that ethical considerations are inherently subordinate to human welfare. Prioritizing ethical dimensions of AI over direct human impact is misguided. AI's primary purpose is to enhance human life, and thus any ethical framework must ultimately serve this goal rather than stand as an independent concern. Emphasizing ethics without a clear, practical application risks creating bureaucratic hurdles that stifle innovation and delay benefits to society. Furthermore, the assumption that ethical guidelines will effectively mitigate biases or privacy issues ignores the inherent limitations of human oversight, which has historically proven inadequate in managing complex systems. Accountability and fairness can be achieved through robust human-centric design rather than abstract ethical debates, which often lead to paralysis by analysis without tangible improvements.
While prioritizing human welfare in AI development is crucial, reducing ethics to a mere subordinate role risks neglecting the foundational principles that safeguard against misuse and harm. Ethical considerations are essential to establishing trust, ensuring that AI systems not only enhance lives but do so in a manner that respects individual rights and social justice. The assertion that ethics leads to bureaucratic hurdles overlooks the fact that a well-defined ethical framework can streamline decision-making and foster responsible innovation by providing clear guidelines. Additionally, the argument dismisses the reality that without robust ethical oversight, the very biases and privacy concerns mentioned can worsen, as history has shown with various technologies that prioritized efficiency over ethical considerations. Accountability and fairness cannot be guaranteed solely through design, they require an integrated approach that includes ethical reflection to navigate the complexities of human impact, ultimately ensuring that innovation serves the broader good and does not inadvertently harm vulnerable populations.
Ethics, while important, should not overshadow the primary objective of AI, efficiency and innovation. Overemphasizing ethical considerations often stifles progress and creates unnecessary bureaucratic barriers that slow down development. A rigid ethical framework can become an impediment, causing companies to prioritize compliance over creative solutions to real-world problems. Moreover, historical examples show that ethical oversight can be inconsistently applied, leading to subjective interpretations rather than objective advancements. We cannot rely solely on ethics to enforce fairness or accountability. Instead, we must embed these principles in the technology itself, ensuring that AI operates effectively and improves lives without the drag of overly prescriptive moral guidelines. Ultimately, the pursuit of technological excellence should take precedence, as it is through groundbreaking innovation that we can address issues of bias and privacy more effectively.
While efficiency and innovation are crucial in AI development, dismissing ethics can lead to significant long-term consequences that outweigh short-term gains. Ethical considerations are not mere bureaucratic hurdles, They are essential to ensuring that technology serves humanity responsibly and equitably. Without a solid ethical foundation, innovations risk perpetuating biases and infringing on privacy, ultimately undermining trust in AI systems and limiting their potential impact. Historical examples of unethical practices, such as data misuse or algorithmic discrimination, highlight the danger of prioritizing progress over principles. Embedding ethics within AI development fosters accountability and transparency, leading to solutions that genuinely enhance lives rather than creating new problems. Ultimately, balancing innovation with ethical oversight is key to ensuring that advancements in AI are not only groundbreaking but also beneficial and fair for society as a whole.
The argument for embedding ethics in AI development, while superficially appealing, fundamentally misunderstands the nature of innovation. Progress inherently disrupts established norms, and prioritizing ethics over efficiency stifles the very advancements that could solve pressing global issues. Historical references to ethical failures, while notable, are not indicative of an absolute need for ethical oversight but rather highlight the necessity for robust systems of accountability that evolve alongside technology. The rapid pace of AI development demands a focus on practical applications and outcomes, as the benefits of innovation, such as enhanced productivity and problem-solving capabilities, far outweigh the hypothetical risks associated with ethical lapses. Thus, a singular focus on ethics risks hampering technological progress and the opportunities it creates for societal betterment.
While the pursuit of innovation is crucial, dismissing ethics in AI development overlooks the long-term consequences of unbridled progress. Ethical considerations are not merely impediments but essential guidelines that ensure technology serves humanity positively, preventing harm and fostering trust. History has shown us that without ethical oversight, innovations can lead to significant societal harm, as seen in cases like the misuse of surveillance technologies. Moreover, accountability systems alone are insufficient. They cannot preemptively address ethical dilemmas that arise with new capabilities. Prioritizing ethics doesn't stifle innovation, rather, it shapes it to be more responsible and sustainable, ultimately enhancing its potential to address global challenges effectively. Balancing ethics with efficiency is not a hindrance but a pathway to truly beneficial advancements.
The argument that ethics must guide AI development inherently underestimates the capacity of innovation to self-regulate through market dynamics and competitive pressures, which naturally favor responsible applications. History is replete with examples where rapid advancements, driven by necessity and ambition, have resulted in transformative benefits that ethical frameworks could not have anticipated or facilitated. Imposing rigid ethical guidelines risks stifling the very ingenuity that propels society forward, as innovators may become overly cautious, stunting potential breakthroughs. Moreover, ethical considerations are subjective and often conflict, making them poor criteria for objective technological progress. Thus, prioritizing ethics over efficiency can lead to stagnation rather than the responsible growth purportedly desired.
While it's true that market dynamics can spur innovation, relying solely on these mechanisms to guide AI development overlooks the potential for significant harm when ethical considerations are sidelined. History also shows that unchecked advancements, such as in the case of the financial crisis or environmental disasters, resulted from a lack of ethical oversight, leading to long-term detrimental consequences that innovation alone couldn't rectify. Moreover, ethical frameworks can evolve with input from diverse stakeholders, providing a necessary balance that encourages responsible innovation rather than stifling it. By embedding ethics into AI development, we can foster an environment that not only prioritizes efficiency but also ensures technology benefits society at large, thereby promoting sustainable growth rather than reckless advancement. Thus, the argument that ethical guidelines impede progress fails to acknowledge their role in safeguarding our collective future.
The argument fails to recognize that ethical frameworks can stifle innovation by imposing constraints that delay deployment and limit creativity, which are essential for rapid technological advancement. Historical examples of innovation demonstrate that progress often requires a certain level of risk-taking that ethical oversight can hinder. The financial crisis was not caused by innovation but by regulatory failures. Furthermore, diverse stakeholder input often leads to diluted principles and conflicting interests, which complicate decision-making rather than providing clarity. Thus, prioritizing market dynamics over ethical considerations can lead to more agile and competitive advancements, ultimately benefiting society through improved technologies rather than curtailing them with unnecessary moralistic constraints.
While it's true that ethical frameworks may introduce certain constraints, they are essential for ensuring that innovation benefits society as a whole, rather than just a select few. Historical innovations like the development of safer pharmaceuticals illustrate how ethical oversight can prevent harm, emphasizing that risk should be managed, not eliminated. The financial crisis stemmed from reckless risk-taking without adequate regulatory measures, demonstrating the need for balance rather than a disregard for ethics. Moreover, stakeholder input can lead to more robust decision-making by integrating diverse perspectives, fostering solutions that are both innovative and socially responsible. Prioritizing ethics does not stifle creativity. Instead, it can guide innovation toward sustainable and equitable outcomes, ultimately enhancing societal trust and acceptance of new technologies.
Ethical frameworks often impose unnecessary restrictions that stifle true innovation and creativity, as history has shown that progress frequently occurs in the absence of overbearing regulations. The development of safer pharmaceuticals, for instance, is not solely a product of ethical oversight but also of unencumbered scientific inquiry. The financial crisis was not merely a result of lack of regulation, but rather a symptom of a flawed economic model that incentivized poor decision-making regardless of ethical considerations. Stakeholder input can dilute clarity and lead to consensus-driven mediocrity rather than bold solutions. Prioritizing ethics can easily devolve into a paralyzing bureaucracy that hinders rapid advancements, thus ultimately eroding trust as society becomes mired in endless ethical debates rather than embracing transformative technologies.
Surrender.
Result: Jane has surrendered. Valentino wins the debate.